Desert rose plant description. A desert rose plant is a type of caudiform, or fat plant. All caudiforms have a codex, a thick bulbous base and fat, swollen trunk and stems. The interesting shape of the cortex can make a desert rose plant look like a natural bonsai without any effort on your part. When grown indoors, a desert rose plant is about 2 feet, 5 feet tall and 1 foot 3 feet wide. It produces sparse small, leathery green leaves and beautiful 1-2 saucer-shaped flowers at the ends of the branches. The flowers are usually red, pink, or white, and the plant is quite a conversation piece when in bloom. The fat bulbous trunk is partially or completely buried in the soil. It's important to remember that a desert rose contains a toxic sap that will irritate your skin, eyes and mouth and should never be ingested. In Africa, the sap is used to make poison arrows for hunting large animals. Desert rose plant problems: no flowers, not enough light, too much fertilizer, or the plant is still too young to flower. Yellow leaves, usually due to overwatering. The thick leaf stores water and gets soft when the plant needs water, or too much direct sun. Green leaves falling off soil has gotten to dry. Shriveled, wrinkled, caught decks. This usually occurs when the plant needs water, but can also be an indication of overwatering and root rot. Quick care tips for a desert rose plant: bright indirect light. Allow the soil to practically dry out before watering. Feed monthly from May to October. Prefers warm temperatures above 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 15.6 degrees Celsius. Use a soil that drains quickly. Keep in a small pot to prevent overwatering. Plant care: light. A desert rose plant requires very bright, indirect light, especially if you wanted to flower. Water Surround Easy 320, 25, 940 for PM. The fat bulb. A space cortex of a desert rose stores water, so always allow the soil to practically dry out before watering. If the soil gets excessively dry, the plant becomes dormant. But once you water, leaves quickly start to grow again. The thick base, stems, and roots of a desert rose plant become soft and wrinkled when the soil is very dry, or when the plant has been overwatered and the roots have started to die. Fertilizer. Feed a desert rose plant with a fertilizer specifically for flowering plants. The plant food should be lower in nitrogen and higher in phosphorus. 2010. Feed monthly from late spring until early fall. Always dilute your plant food to 1/2 the recommended strength. Temperature. A desert rose likes very warm temperatures. Keep the room above 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 15.6 degrees Celsius, and avoid placing the plant near air conditioners or cold drafts. Humidity. Basic household humidity for a succulent desert rose is perfect. Flowering. Flowering can occur throughout the year, but is more prolific in the spring and fall. Older plants that are well cared for produce the most blooms. The large colorful flowers can be red, white, pink, or rose-colored. Pests, aphids, spider mites, scale and mealybugs are all attracted to a desert rose. Read more about these plant pests and how to identify and treat them in the glossary of the website. Diseases. Most fungal or bacterial diseases that affect a desert rose plant, such as crown, root and stem rot, are the result of overwatering. It's also important to keep water off the leaves, flowers and stems. Soil. Use a loose, fast-draining soil mixture. Add hard sand to your usual potting soil to prevent it from becoming heavy and clay-like, or use a soil specifically recommended for cactus and succulent plants. Pot size Sarap TZ3 320, 25 940 for PM. A desert rose likes being root-bound in small pot. This helps prevent overwatering and keeps the plant from getting too large. Pruning. Prune a desert rose any time during the year. Flowers develop on the new growth, so pruning well before the plant blooms encourages more branching and more flowers. Wear gloves and lawn sleeves to protect yourself from the poisonous sap. Propagation. The best way to propagate a desert rose is from seeds, but this is rarely possible with an indoor plant. You can try using stem cuttings, but the new plants often lack the thick, twisted trunks and fat bases that make a desert rose plant so interesting resting period. A desert rose often goes dormant during the winter and may drop leaves. Reduce watering during this time and do not fertilize. A desert rose plant is a very poisonous houseplant with a no to toxicity level.